Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cucamonga Valley Medical Group's Healthy Living webinar. My name is Sabrina Pierce, and I am a community health educator here at Cucamonga Valley Medical Group. I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight. We have a hot topic tonight. And before we begin, I want to let you know that this is an interactive webinar, so please feel free to enter any questions you may have in the Q&A function. And also I have the chat open so we can communicate on there as well. And if you would like, you can save your questions till the end, and I will save a little time for us to do a little Q&A. And also, if you're joining through a phone, I recommend to turn that phone sideways so you can view this webinar in a widescreen view. Okay, so tonight's topic is weight management. Well, New Year's is around the corner, and we all know that the most common New Year's resolution is to lose weight. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution for weight loss? Well, when we embark on these weight loss journeys, what we are engaging in is weight management. We are trying to manage our weight to meet our goals. Well, what does weight management mean? Well, technically, weight management is a skill. It is a skill. It is a person's ability to attain or maintain a certain weight. And the great part about weight management being a skill is that the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. So the weight management is a skill. For tonight's webinar, we'll be focusing on how you can develop your ability or your weight management skills. And the great thing about developing your skill is that it has been linked to successful long-term weight management. And that's our goal, right? We want to be able to manage our weight successfully for the long term. And we don't want to worry about trendy dieting or these like quick fast weight loss programs. We really want to be able to have a skill where we can manage our weight our own. So for tonight, we're going to talk about why recording your food is the first step to weight management, how you can address the 5 components to weight management, and then we're going to talk about how you can use the game changer of mindful eating. And again, everything we'll be talking about tonight is here to help you develop your weight management skill. So the first step is to record what you eat and drink. And it's the first step because when you do this, you're going to find out how much you are actually eating. And this is the most important factor when it comes to weight management. I am not saying that you need to record what you eat and drink for the rest of your life. That's unrealistic. However, before you try to manage your weight, you need to learn the serving sizes of the food you're eating and the caloric value of the food you're eating. So that means how many calories is in the food you are eating. And you're going to learn those things by tracking your food. So I would like to share a quick personal story of mine is that I was overweight for the majority of my life, and I embarked on a big weight loss journey. And before I did that, I did not track or record what I ate. I just kind of thought, I'm going to choose healthier options. I'm going to eat less. Well, unsurprisingly, I did not reach my goals. And I said, you know what? I'm going to commit. I'm going to start measuring what I eat and recording it. And that's what I did. I took down my weight, I would measure my food, and I would record it into an app. Now we're going to talk more about these apps later. Well, when I did this, I learned so much. I was really off on my serving sizes. I was eating a lot of hidden calories like I didn't really know about. For example, I would make smoothies and I would put peanut butter in my smoothies, and I didn't know that, peanut butter is really high in calories, and I didn't know the serving size for that. So again, it really gave me a huge new perspective on the food I was eating and how much I was eating. So I encourage all of you to try this experiment on yourself because everyone is different and everyone's going to need a different amount of calories. So you really want to do this little experiment with yourself and find out what works for you and find out your serving sizes and find out how many calories is in the foods you are eating. So that's the first step. And again, when you do this, you're going to learn the serving sizes and the caloric value of food, and you're going to get a whole new perspective. You're going to foster some mindfulness about the foods you are eating. So now that we know this is the first step, how would you record what you're eating and drinking? And you know what, before I jump into that, I forgot to mention that this is the first step because before you do this, you are guessing, right? That's what I was doing. We're just guessing. And guessing is not accurate, and it's not going to lead to that long-term success that we want. So again, this is the first step. Now, nowadays, we have all of these wonderful tools to help us with recording what we are eating and drinking. So I actually use MyFitnessPal. And if you guys are joining through a phone, you guys can screenshot anything you see during this webinar for your own reference. These tools are all free. And they're all really great. So find which one ever works for you. And yeah, so I encourage you to try this experiment on yourself. And this is a great experience. You're going to get a lot of information and a lot of insight when you do this. So, did you know that weight management is not just about eating the right amount of calories? Yeah, eating the right amount of calories is going to give you some success. However, we want that long-term success. And to get there, we need to address the 5 components to weight management. Well, what are these 5 components? The first component to weight management is nutrition. Nutrition, right? Well, choosing healthy foods most of the time is truly going to help with any weight management goal. Last month's Healthy Living webinar was about healthy food choices and creating those healthy food habits. If you would like to watch that, we actually have the video posted on our website. I have entered the website in the chat, so if you guys want to check that out, it is there for you. And this website also has our upcoming webinar topics and the link to join. But overall, we know that eating pizzas and bags of chips are not going to be helpful in our weight management efforts. We want to choose healthy foods most of the time. If you guys want more information about healthy food and how to cook some healthy meals, go ahead and let me know in the chat and I can plan a webinar just for that. The second component to weight management is physical activity. This is where the real results come in. Being physically active will allow your body to better manage the weight. You do not need to be a gym rat or spend hours at the gym. It does not need to consume your life. All it means is to move your body, to get your body moving. So I have a quick video for you, and this video just shows some ways, some realistic ways on how you can be more physically active throughout your day.
How to be more active. Number 1, start a walking program. Start out by committing yourself to walking for 10 to 15 minutes a day, every day. As this becomes easier for you to accomplish, up the time to 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes twice a day. Number 2, make the trip from A to B longer or more physical. Anytime you park in a parking lot, park further away. If possible, use the stairs, or anytime you go shopping for anything, walk a lap around the store before you actually start your shopping. Number 3, stand or walk when you're on the phone. Make a rule to yourself that phone time is activity time by always standing or pacing while you're on the phone. Number 4, don't hire someone to do housework. Do it yourself. This is a great way to get your body moving in different directions and also moves your joints through different ranges of motion. Number 5, work in the yard. Mowing and trimming the grass are great full body movements. Planting a garden, picking up leaves and trash, and trimming bushes and trees are other ways to get you moving as well. Number 6, use the alarm on your phone as a movement alarm. If you're sitting at a desk all day, set the alarm on your phone every half hour. When it rings, stand up and walk around for a couple of minutes. Number 7, use commercial breaks on TV as alarms. Just like the alarm on your phone, when a commercial comes on, stand up, walk around for the break. Number 8, join a league. Bowling, golf, softball, and volleyball leagues are always being formed. Joining one of these leagues is a great way to increase your physical movement and also increase your engagement with other people. Number 9, go to a group class. Yoga, Zumba, step class, group classes are fun, move your body in various directions, ranges of motions, and also provide a great way to be more socially active. Number 10, plan physical activity on weekends and vacations. Weekends and vacations are for getting away from the everyday grind of life, but they don't have to be spent sitting doing nothing. Taking a hike or even going to an amusement park are great ways to spend time moving your body and having fun at the same time. Folks, if you sit down and really think about ways you can create more physical movement in your life, you should be able to come up with a pretty good list.
Okay, so I hope you guys got some real ways and you can start getting more physically active. I know that during our current pandemic right now, some of these things like the group classes might be a little harder to get to, but you know what? There's a lot of online classes and online resources that you can also join as well. So I created this wonderful pyramid just for you, and this is our physical activity recommendations. And you want to use this pyramid as a guide when you are planning your physical activity. So let's go over it. So here at the bottom of the pyramid, we have our lifestyle everyday physical activity. So that's just going to be just moving your body, biking, yard work, cleaning, walking. So this we want to be engaging in every day. And then we have aerobic activity. Aerobic activity is an activity that's going to get your heart pumping. That's going to be an aerobic activity. You could do things like walking at a fast pace, jogging, swimming, dancing, playing a sport. Any activity that's going to get your heart pumping where it's hard to talk, that's going to be an aerobic activity. And here it says to reach for at least 115 minutes each week. That comes out to 30 minutes a day. So for 30 minutes a day, do an activity where you're getting your heart pumping. And then we have strength and flexibility. When we start including activities for strength and flexibility, we're really going to start reaching a higher level of weight management and that long-term success. And that's because our body will be better able to manage the weight. So doing things like yoga and stretching and strength training. So strength training is going to be like weightlifting, any type of activity where it's resistance. So that could be resistance bands with weights, any item you can find in your house that's heavy, just give yourself some training. So that's going to be training your body for your strength. And that you want to try to do for at least 2 times a week. And at the top of the pyramid here, we have a sedentary activities. Sedentary activities is any activity where you're not moving. So that's going to be laying down and sitting. And that's why it's at the top of the pyramid, because we want to limit these activities. Okay, so again, this is our physical activity recommendations, and you can screenshot this for your own reference. The third component to weight management is stress management. We live in a demanding world that causes us a lot of stress. And when we feel stress, we tend to eat emotionally, we tend to lose motivation, and we tend to choose those unhealthier dishes. Maybe you can think of a time when you were feeling stressed and you went to town on a carton of ice cream. I might have. Well, that's why it's important to manage our stress, because stress can hinder or hurt our weight management efforts. On the next slide, I have some quick ways that you can start implementing some stress management. So here we go. Number 1 is laughter. Just being able to laugh is a great stress reliever. So you can watch comedies, play some jokes, just lighten up, take life a little less serious, and that's really going to relieve some stress. The next is to breathe deeply. This is a very effective stress management technique because you can use it anywhere. So when you're feeling stressed, just close your eyes and take a couple minutes to breathe deeply, and you're going to feel less stress. The next is to relax. Take some time to relax. A lot of people think that relaxing is a luxury, but relaxing is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is necessary for our health. We need to take time to relax and to recharge. Next is to do an activity that expresses your creativity. So things like journaling, drawing, yard working, woodworking. Maybe you like to make music. wherever you're expressing your creativity is going to be a great activity to relieve some stress. And what I always like to recommend to my patients is to do an activity once a day that's either relaxing or is expressing your creativity. And that's going to be a great way to manage your stress. And finally, is to stay in the present moment. A lot of times our stress comes from worrying about future outcomes or worrying about things we can't control. So focus on staying in the present moment, and that's going to relieve a lot of that stress. And these are the ways to manage your stress. And again, this is important because this is going to help you with your weight management efforts. The fourth component to weight management is sleep. It is sleep. Who has stayed up all night just to binge watch their favorite Netflix show? I know I have, and many people these days put sleep on the back burner. Well, not only is this really bad for our overall health, but research shows that when you're not getting enough sleep, you tend to overeat. And that's because when we're not giving our body enough time to sleep, our hormones get thrown off whack, off balance. So our eating hormones and our eating signals are not just kind of out of whack, not in balance. So that's why it's important and it's recommended to get 7 to 8 hours of good sleep. And to let you know, next month's webinar is about sleep hygiene. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about ways to improve your sleep, things that can affect your sleep. And if you would like me to address anything during that webinar, go ahead and let me know in the chat and I will make sure to make a note of that. The fifth and final component to weight management is support. Support. It is hard to manage your weight without support. So talk to your family about your goals. You could even buddy up. Buddy up is a great way to have some support in your weight management. You could have a cooking buddy, a walking buddy, a workout buddy. So that's a great way to have support. And if you're not finding the support around you, go ahead and seek some support. There's a lot of online support groups that are there and that are really resourceful and really great. I've heard a lot of success from online support groups as well. So we want support for our weight management. Well, here are the 5 components to weight management. And when we address all of these, we're really going to start reaching that long-term success. I know it might feel overwhelming to address all of these, but you know what? It is always recommended when we are making lifestyle changes to make one change at a time. And when we get that one change down and we practice it and it's kind of become a habit, then it's okay to go ahead and add another change. So that is the 5 components to weight management. Okay. So our next topic is mindful eating. Well, the word mindfulness means awareness of the present moment. So mindful eating is awareness of the present moment of eating. Well, this is a game changer in weight management. And that's because many of us ignore what we are experiencing right now. And we usually don't use our minds when we are eating. We are busy, we're on the go, we're eating in the car, we're eating in front of our TV, we're eating in front of our phones. And on top of that, we're surrounded by advertisements telling us what to eat, when to eat. So it's really easy to act on our environment and not so much our mind. And also food has become the background music in our lives. So maybe you can relate. For example, you're in the kitchen, there's food on the counter, and you just take a bite. You really don't know why. You're not thinking about it. Or you're at a get together. Every time you walk by the appetizer table, you're taking the pieces, you're taking a bite, you're continuing your conversation. You're not thinking about it. Well, the problem when we are not engaging our mind when we are eating is that we tend to overeat and feel less unsatisfied. We feel unsatisfied. So I'm going to show you how you can start eating mindfully. And also I want to let you know that I have been practicing mindful eating and I truly believe that it has led me to long-term success because it is a game changer. So I really hope that I can share some valuable information. So let's do it. So first, before you eat, stop and do a belly check. You want to stop and assess your hunger before you eat. And when you assess your hunger, I like to use the hunger scale. So this is the hunger scale. Again, you can take a screenshot of this for your reference. I encourage you to start giving your hunger a number. When you start giving your hunger a number, it's really going to put things in perspective for you and give you a lot of insight about your own body signals. So we want to start planning when we're feeling out of 4, we're feeling pretty hungry. We should start planning what are we going to eat, when are we going to eat. And then when we start feeling a 3 and a 2, that would be a good time to eat. We want to avoid waiting until we are at a 1, because when we reach a 1, we tend to overeat and we tend to eat whatever is in front of us. So we want to avoid reaching a 1. And then while we are eating, we want to eat until we are satisfied. Eating until we are satisfied is going to be the best place to stop eating. We want to avoid eating until we are full, we are stuffed, we feel uncomfortable. We don't want to get to that point. We want to stop when we are satisfied. Next, you want to assess your food while you are eating. Notice how it smells, the textures. Think about the food. You want to eat slowly. Many of us eat really fast. We like to scarf our food down. However, it's been shown that people who eat slowly eat less calories. And that's because it takes 10 minutes or longer for your I'm getting full signal to reach your brain. So slow down while eating. Next, you want to investigate your hunger throughout your meal. And I recommend to use the hunger scale. So think about the hunger scale while you are eating. Again, the best place to eat is when we are satisfied and not when we are stuffed. Next is to chew your food thoroughly. Sometimes we do not chew enough, and we're really supposed to chew our food really good. And this also helps our body to absorb all the nutrients, and it helps with digestion. So slow down while you're eating and chew your food thoroughly. And lastly, savor your food. Take the time to really enjoy the food. It is there to be enjoyed, so allow yourself the time to enjoy all those wonderful tastes and flavors. I like to remember this by the acronym of BASICS. So the basics of mindful eating. We just went over this. So again, you want to start with that belly check. You want to assess your food while you're eating. You want to slow down. You want to investigate your hunger and chew your food thoroughly and savor your food. So that is how you can start practicing mindful eating. So to wrap things up, the first step to weight management is to track your food. Addressing all 5 components of weight management is really going to lead you to that long-term success. And when you start practicing mindful eating, it's a true game changer in weight management. And lastly, remember that weight management is a skill. So the more you practice it, the better you are going to get at it. So don't be afraid, just start doing it, start learning, start practicing, and you're going to get good. Okay. So before we jump into our Q&A, please remember that if you have any serious concerns about your weight management, please talk to your healthcare provider. They are there ready to help. All right, so if you have any questions, go ahead and enter them either in the chat or the Q&A function, and I will go ahead and answer them. Okay, someone asked, how long did I record? So that's a good question. Thank you for asking. I recorded for, I think, about 2 months. I recorded what I ate and I measured my food and I put everything in that app. And the great thing is that that's a tool. So if you feel like you did that for a while, you got your information and you could stop for a little bit, but you can always use it again to get more insight and get more information. So again, that is a tool, that is a great thing to keep using in your weight management journey. Someone asked, do any of these things differ with someone with diabetes? No, they don't. And thank you for asking that question, Allison. I actually am a diabetes educator for Cucamonga Valley Medical Group, and a lot of the things that I talked about today, I talk about during that program. So again, tracking your food is a great thing to do when you have diabetes. That is something we always recommend. And also practicing mindful eating. Mindful eating, again, is a game changer when it comes to weight managing and managing your diabetes. It's really going to connect you when you are eating, connect your mind. So it's a great thing to start practicing. And also, if you're interested in our diabetes education program, talk to your healthcare provider. We're actually doing the class right now through Zoom. It's a really great experience, so I encourage it for anybody. Someone said, how do I lose weight? That's a great question. That's $1 million question, right? Thank you for asking that. Well, the scientific answer for that is when you're going to lose weight, when you eat less calories than you burn. That's going to be when you lose weight, right? You want to eat less calories than you burn. And also, you're going to find that out through that whole experiment I was talking about. So again, everyone's calories are going to be different based on your lifestyle. So doing that little experiment on yourself is really, really going to give you a lot of information and help you with your weight management journey. And I also recommend for everybody, not just people who are trying to manage their weight, is to eat more fiber. Fiber is great for your health. It is great for your digestion. It is great for just everything. And the foods that have fiber are going to be whole plant foods. So vegetables, fruits, beans. Beans are a great one. I always like to say beans and greens. Beans and greens are going to be great for your health and for your weight management. So eating more fiber, tracking your food, those are going to be great things to do to make weight management a great journey and an easy journey. It's going to be hard when you're trying to manage your weight, when you are eating burgers, you're eating donuts. It's going to be harder. So when we're eating those whole plant foods, getting that fiber is going to make things a lot easier and a way better process. Okay, it looks like we don't have any more questions. I would like to leave everyone with just one more piece of advice, and that is to have patience. Weight management does take some time, but the great thing is that it is science. It is science. So if you're eating the right amount of calories and you are addressing all the 5 components of weight management, you're really going to reach your goals. So it is kind of cool that you have that guarantee. So stick with it, have patience. Okay, well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, and thank you for participating. And yeah, I wish you guys all a happy new year, and I will see you next month. Thank you.